This lecture is on how to predict the entropy for a chemical system. Why does one want delta S to be greater than 0? An increase in entropy leads to an increase in freedom of motion. Predicting the delta S for a system greater than 0 can occur if any of these factors takes place. 1, an increase in gaseous molecules from reactants to products. Delta N overall equals moles of gas products minus moles of gas reactants. 2, a change in state of phase of any of the following. A, solid to gas, B, solid to liquid, or C, liquid to gas. All are endothermic processes, which means delta H is greater than 0. 3, no change in the amount of gas, but a change in structure. First, 2 examples in a change in gas molecules. In the chemical reaction where hydrogen reacts with iodine in producing hydrogen iodide, there are 2 gaseous products and 1 gaseous reactant. So delta overall of N equals 1, and since it is greater than 0, the delta S is greater than 0, meaning it is a spontaneous process. In the chemical reaction where nitrogen dioxide reacts with water to form liquid nitric acid and nitrogen monoxide, there is 1 gaseous product and 3 gaseous reactants. So delta overall of N equals minus 2. And since it is less than 0, the delta S is less than 0, meaning it is a non-spontaneous process. Second, 2 examples involving phase changes. In this process where solid ice water converts to water vapor, this is a phase change called sublimation, in which delta H is greater than 0. And since this phase process is endothermic, the delta S will also be positive, meaning that the product has more disorder in the substance than the reactant. In this process where gaseous carbon dioxide converts to solid carbon dioxide, this is a phase change called deposition, in which delta H is less than 0, and since this phase process is exothermic, the delta S will also be negative or less than 0, meaning that the reactant has more disorder in the substance than the product. Third, a change in structure. Here, cyclopropane with the aid of heat converts to propene. There is no change in the molecular formula of C3H6. However, the reactant is in a ring and the product is in a chain. There is a restrictive motion for substance in a ring, where one's in a chain has more flexibility in its molecular motion, which can be noticed, and as a result, delta S is greater than 0. Here is a review exercise for you to work on. Predict the sign of delta S and determine what should be the sign based on the trends discussed, and explain briefly why. No tables or calculations, please. A, liquid CS2 forms gaseous CS2. B, 2 liquid Hg plus gaseous O2 forms 2 solid HgO. C, 2 solid Na2O2 plus 2 liquid H2O forms 4 aqueous NaOH plus gaseous O2. For the remaining part of this lecture are solutions to review exercises or problems. Please view only after completing these exercises.